You don't need this shit. Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we haven't made a decision on that. You might try immunotherapy, but right now his quality of life is so bad. He doesn't want it. He said, I don't want it. If it's just going to prolong life, there's no point.
God damn.
Here tonight, no issues. Maybe. Get some water.
Do we have minutes? I don't see minutes.
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know.
You want to get them knocked off?
Good.
I haven't been paying attention to NFL this year.
Especially not the Browns.
You see, Brandon Graham is coming out of retirement.
He's getting, he's kind of wasting his
Minutes are coming.
Russ, do you see that Brandon Graham is coming out of retirement for the Eagles?
It'd be nice to have
They got no leader on defense, and he's coming out to be a leader. I'll tell you what, they look pretty damn good on Sunday, though. The Eagles. I forget who they played. I didn't see it, but I saw reading the stats, and I saw the last 22 seconds. Damn it!
Are they going to miss it? You know what?
Vikings.
NBA starts, basketball starts today. It's crazy.
I don't get that going over to England to play.
Can't we have a season finished before we start the next season? They start so early.
Not only that, it screws the teams out of big bucks that to fly equipment, fly everything the hell over there.
It's crazy. It's just
But you know, it's all about
And then the viewership, nobody watches the damn game.
you know all that.
I mean, they're not even picking up the West Coast crowd because they're still in bed. I mean, it's like 4:30 in the morning here.
Wait for the minutes. You got two.
Wait a minute, will you?
Are you? Wait a minute for the minutes.
We have to move this clock. It shouldn't be behind us.
What do you think? It's an evil spirit. It's fine. Yeah, it should be up there or over there. Where was it originally? It wasn't over there, yeah. And when the building got moved, did it come off? Is that what happened?
The whole wall had to be moved.
Oh my God.
Don't you remember it? We
Yeah, it's a crack.
took out the whole thing.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We're going to read it now. Holy shit.
Okay, September the 16th.
This is 16.
Now, approval is being read without additions or corrections. Approval is being read. Isn't that the way to do it? Tell her.
Approval is being read. No motion. Just the minutes are approved.
Yes.
Oh, I got something. Wait a minute. Where's my Scooby-Dooby-Doo? Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. This is a draft meeting. Jeez, I can't remember.
discussed.
Yes, ma'am.
There's an executive session. I'm an executive session.
Correct.
And you vote on it. It's discussed. You don't have to say.
In these minutes, in other words, you come out of executive session to the regular session.
Regular session.
And then say, no decisions were made in the executive call, whether, I mean, you're very circumspect about what you say. What's it say? Return to.
I was on my way up to downtown PA to get bronchitis.
Okay.
That's a lovely time.
You don't have to say what was, because nothing was
Actually,
done.
they didn't tell
You
me.
discussed, you discussed,
Dude,
you can say you discussed legal
in
issues.
Downingtown, we went up for my nephew's wedding.
That's it.
Right, rather than just say.
No, yeah, you won't say
Downingtown, we
probably.
stayed at Home to Suites, which is Hilton. Dude,
Ma'am.
bedroom.
Robert all set?
I mean, slept like a rock. We went to Holiday Inn Express. You can only sleep for 15 minutes. That was so the pillows reminded me to take like a gas tank. I'm open the trying to sleep.
Alright, the monthly meeting of the WPA is called to order. Attendance, please, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, we have our President Maryland, Vice President Russ Kane, John Rudstein, Mike Downs, Joe Myers, Brian Larimore, Blaine Beadle. We're missing Adam Hall, who said he'd be here, but is not present at the current time. We have a quorum.
We have minutes to approve. I just have one change for the minutes for the October 9th. Should we do these separately?
Yes.
Let's do September 16th first.
I make a motion to approve the September 16th minutes as written.
Second,
I have a problem.
okay.
I have no idea what the minutes are. Sorry about that, but report attached, no it's not. Secretary, report attached, no it's not. Treasurer, reports attached, but no it's not. What is this? Order of business? This would be the agenda, not a report for what transacted during a business meeting. If this is all we're gonna put in the official minutes log, don't bother.
The official minute, Robert, you could verify, the official minutes log, I believe, has all the reports attached to it.
Correct, and they're all linked on the website, so you can pull them up, all those little minutes attached things, that's just a placeholder for the website.
And who has read them? Anybody on the board? Oh, good, we're gonna approve minutes we haven't read, we don't know what's in them, beautiful. A second.
I mean, I read all the reports at the meeting.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor of accepting the September 16th minutes?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, September 16th is approved. October 9th, I do have one question regarding that, and that's the return to, at the very end, after the executive session, it says return to normal session. Where Blaine Beadle motions to accept 3 items discussed in executive session, seconded, all present in favor. But it doesn't say what those motions were pertaining to,
Yeah.
and that should be in the record.
No, ma'am, not executive session, stuff like that. What we did, and it was Brian Larimore, that's what BL stands for.
Oh, okay.
But what we do is we have a discussion, it was legal discussions, and then we come out and say that we made, that we approved action for those legal action is what we approved.
It doesn't say that,
Doesn't
it just
say
says items
That's
discussed.
fine, I didn't write the minutes. I'm just saying, that's what we do. We don't say exactly what we do. We just say that we approved action.
Shouldn't there be minutes of the executive session? Notes, something?
Mr. Legal Chairperson?
Well, two things. One, I don't like the abbreviations BL and JR. I think you ought to spell.
Yeah,
Who
because
those-
I said Blaine and it's Brian,
So
right?
that ought to be, and I think there should be minutes taken of the executive session, no?
No, you don't need
No.
minutes of the executive session.
Then at least we ought to say what, in reference what we
It was-
discussed.
Yeah, it was, we go into executive
Yeah.
session.
We
telling
came out and
everybody what
we
we're gonna
discussed
talk
next.
about,
Yeah.
Which was legal
Yeah.
issues, and we come back out and say,
Yeah.
approved action or didn't do anything.
Right.
I do also have an issue there. It should be 2 items, not 3.
Okay, so these need to be, these
Yeah, they
minutes
should be
need to be amended.
Amended and rewritten.
Okay,
All right,
It-
that'll
so,
be our next meeting in December.
December.
right.
Mm.
Okay,
Crazy. It's okay.
all right, so,
Although I think for Joe's edification, and can I make it?
yes,
Am I on or not? Oh, okay. For Joe's edification, I had the same issue you had on another issue about the minutes. So because it had to do with the issue of a member out in the wilds here accusing Mr. Nadeau and myself of some nefarious activity. So I went to the April meeting minutes and reviewed them. However, if you look at the minute book, the reports that you are asking about and I was curious about aren't here. But, Robert, there's a separate book with reports, is that right?
They're all, I have them all, they're all scanned.
Yeah, so well, you have the notes, but then you have to go from here, the action, and go to the reports. The reports aren't, as you asked. Yeah, that's the issue. But they're there, it's just not as you think they would be in here.
all right, shall we move on? Officer reports. Okay, I just have a brief president's report. I'd like to begin by thanking the nominations committee for organizing a very successful candidates night. It was well-run, informative, and gave our community an excellent opportunity to hear directly from those willing to serve. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. I also want to take a moment to recognize and thank our outgoing board members, Joe Myers, Russ Cocaine, and Michael Downs, for their time, their dedication, and their service to the community. Each of you has contributed in meaningful ways, and your efforts have helped move the association forward. In addition, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all our committee chairs and all the committee members for your hard work and time. Thank you for your continued involvement and support. Lastly, please remember to vote, either by mailing in your proxy ballots or by attending the annual meeting. Your vote matters. Our secretary, Stan, will provide you with the important dates and times. And that is the end of my report. Mr. Vice President, do you have a final report? I do not. Mr. Secretary?
We continue to the preparations for the annual meeting. August 1st was the deadline for bylaw proposals. All documents for the annual meeting were to be submitted in final form by September the 24th. The election committee prepared 525 election packets, and those were mailed on October the 2nd. On Wednesday, November the 5th, all proxy votes are due by 3 p.m. So if you're going to use a proxy, you have to make sure it's in the office by then or postmarked on the 5th. Anything later will not be accepted. Please note, proxy ballots must be received by November the 5th. I'm going to repeat myself. Any late returns will be notified, as they must vote, and we will notify anybody who had a late return that they have to vote at the annual meeting for their vote to count. And we will attempt to to contact any member whose ballot arrives late. Tuesday, November the 11th, the election committee will be meeting for processing the proxy votes. Saturday, November the 15th is the annual meeting. The annual meeting will be held in Winyaw Auditorium, 1200 High Market Street in Georgetown. Please remember that the doors will open at 9 a.m. and close promptly at 10 a.m. If you're in line, if there's a line there, you're still good. The doors will be locked and anyone arriving late will not be permitted into the hall. Those are all of the things that you need to know for what's coming up. Again, to just magnify Marilyn's words, if you're not sure that you're going to be at the meeting, please fill out the proxy. We still have to, no matter what, we have to have a quorum. And a quorum is 1/3 of the lots here, so it's about 183. If we don't have that much, then we have to adjourn the meeting. And we were discussing today as to how that's going to be handled if it, in fact, happens. It hasn't yet, but that's that. So please help us out by submitting your proxy. Santee we got word today, and some of you probably got a call. Santee Electric is planning on an outage for the Wedgefield office area on Thursday. And that's starting at 8:30 in the morning, therefore, and continue into the afternoon. Our office will be closed Thursday. We won't have power here, so the office will be closed Thursday. To move on to another item, I'd like to make a motion to contract Bobby's Tech Services LLC for an email server for the WPA board and committee chairs. We've discussed this previously. The price is $22,478. $2,478.
We just discussed this at our last meeting,
Yes.
and we came up that with Gmail, everybody can get a Gmail account and use the Gmail account for the thing for free. So why would we be paying $2,500
Well, that's
for something that we can get for free?
That's setting it up, and the last time we discussed that, you had the breakdown of where that 2,400 came from.
I mean, I'm a carpenter, I had 3 different email accounts I was able to set up,
But
no problem. It's
Our problem here is that we need some kind of continuity in our electronic communications. We've had, right now, if you don't copy the office in your email, you could send an official email and there's no copy of it here. And if things happen, for instance, a chairperson is in a committee and does this, that, and the other thing, and then leaves the position. The new chair coming in can't get into his email account to find out all of these things that he had done before, or she. And if we were doing all of our email through this service, then we would have access to all of those emails. And other questions have come up on other issues that point to we really should have something like that for our organization.
Can I just add, just to explain a little bit? So, personal Gmail accounts are free. If you work for a corporation, you get like Google has a workspace account, right? So you would have instead of mike@gmail.com, it might be mike@wedgefield.com or something to that effect. And Brian might be able to explain this better than I can. So, and when it's a workspace, you kind of own that environment, which wouldn't be a bad thing because our email chains sometimes get called into question, and you'd be able to defend or prove or validate whatever was said before, during, or after. I didn't know anything about the cost. I've never owned a corporate workspace account like
Well,
through
this is
Gmail.
to
But
set-
I understand what you're describing here is different than the personal Gmail account. Like, yeah, your personal accounts can be free, but whenever you ended your term on the board, I mean, I guess you could pass password on to the next guy, but that wouldn't, you would still have access to it until you know what I mean? Like, we might be able to create those aliases on the personal accounts and make them Wedgefield, but they could be compromised. You wouldn't have any control to pass that on to the next guy that had drainage or roads or the ARC or anything like that. So it's just another, it would be another layer, I guess, of being a document retention, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make this case one way or the other. I mean, I'm just trying to clarify that, how that works a little bit.
Yeah, so we definitely need something like this. We need some type of service that that is owned by Wedgefield Plantation Association. That's what we definitely have to have that. I would like to know more about what is in this proposal, because I understand you sent something out to us via email, and I started working with Robert a little bit. You know, I think if we were thinking bigger picture, we could get document retention, not just email retention. We could also get meeting availability, where we can do online meetings as well. So those are things that I had mentioned to Robert. So Robert, if you're able, could you come out and tell us what's in your proposal here? Sure. Has this been seconded, by the way?
Yeah.
All right, I'll second it.
2 seconds.
Do you want your proposal? Now, everybody received this the last time we talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so really the idea would be to move away from all the personal accounts that everybody uses and have something that could be passed to the next person, like Stan was saying. Because, the board's gonna shuffle in November. It'd be great to have all the executive positions as one email that could be passed on to the next person. And the backup would be a physical device that could be located here or wherever that would just archive everything. So if anything happened or people quit unexpectedly and decide they don't want to talk to the board anymore, then we'd still have the emails to know what went on with the committee or their position or whatever.
All right, so it is the same proposal that you presented, Stan presented in the email. Did you look in at all into a corporate Gmail service?
Yeah, it's much more expensive to go with the corporate Gmail service.
Well,
So would this here then not just be board members, but also committee members, so that Rhodes is talking to his committee, that it's all being documented, or landscape is talking, and it's all?
Yep. Yeah, this could be expanded into as many accounts as is needed, or as few. I think what I quoted it at was 10 emails.
That was just for the board, but
Yeah.
I think
For the
that
board and for the
adding
office.
the committees in is important. And then any email that comes from the outside can be addressed to president or board or whatever, and we all get the copy, and there's an archived copy in our files as well. Just
Okay, so-
taking advantage of some of the electronic tech that's helpful.
It'd be kind of like our DVR there, there'd be no reason to go poking around in that archive unless something was called into question. It's like, I don't bother looking at any of the security footage unless somebody plows through the back wall of the office.
yeah,
That
so.
would-
a lot
that would
different than
never
I was
happen.
I know you said it's a lot more expensive, and it is gonna be more expensive to do something like that, but you get more service to do a corporate Gmail account. It's cloud-based, so you don't have to worry about a device on-prem getting hit by a car that plows through the wall. I would like to know more about our other options before I vote on this. That's just where I am. I personally didn't care for creating a brand-new domain just for email. We already have a domain. It's very easy to just point our MX record over to that and reuse the same one we already have. I don't mind what you presented. I just want to have a bigger picture and if possible, a much more holistic solution.
So what do you mean by a more holistic solution?
So like I was saying with a corporate Gmail account, and this is just an example. He may be able to find something else as well, maybe Microsoft. But with hopefully a new electronic meetings policy, we can then start having web video conferences, and that could be part of a Gmail corporate account. Okay, we could also move away from YouTube eventually if we wanted to, and make sure a WPA member was watching instead of anybody in the world watching. So there's a lot that we could do here. Plus, you also have just the document retention. I mean, he's got a lot of files on the computer here, and he's got a backup is included in this proposal. It's an on-site backup, and cloud backup would be better for us because there is a lot of transient people here. Not you, Rob. I'm talking about us. We're transient. So I think that would be a better solution. But again, cost does play a factor. So I'd like to see another solution proposed.
You making a motion that this be tabled?
I would make a motion to table.
Okay, just checking. Second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Any other discussion?
If we table this, will we,
What do we?
Yeah, they want to
so we're
table it.
voting to table it, so in that
Mm-hmm.
tabling, we're just gonna add, we're making this a due diligence period, right? So who would who's gonna organize this? Like, basically, are we gonna conference with Robert on what the options are?
Yeah, that was something that I had hoped to be able to talk to you guys about over email a couple months ago, but nobody actually responded. Like, some of us did, said, go ahead, Brian. Rest of us didn't.
I felt it was conflict of interest.
Well, it's just an announcement. That's all I needed to do. But the conflict of interest, by the way, is I work for Cisco. Cisco sells a web conferencing solution. I'm not selling that. I wouldn't sell it, but that would be the conflict of interest. The real conflict comes in when I make a vote on that instead of, anyway. But anyhow, yes, due diligence. I would love for us to talk about it and ask him to look into solutions based off of what we say we need. And then he go and do that due diligence, bring it back to us. Yeah, that's I would like, yeah. So if you don't think that we need document retention, and I'm just saying, as if, right? Hypothetical. If you don't think we need the document retention in the cloud and you want it on-prem, then we would potentially nix that from the requirements. That's really what I'm saying from the due diligence, and then he would go back and price it out as a contractor.
Any other discussion?
Okay, wait,
Motion on the floor to table it.
table it, but Joe, I'm
We
just saying,
wouldn't take it up till December.
yeah, it's not, we're gonna be 2 months.
Right.
So, with this, this would be important to be able to kick off
Yes.
on day one with the new
We
board.
could probably do something
Right.
at the annual meeting, couldn't we? I mean, it is a members' meeting, but
So were you getting to making a motion to accept,
I made a
Yes.
motion.
to
That was my
accept the
motion.
proposal?
Yes.
And at the dollar amount that he had quoted.
So, all right, well, let's just, if we were trying to work to an actionable item right now, with that number, is there a way we can modify your motion to explore the alternatives at that dollar amount?
Amend the motion.
Amend the motion that way, with that, we don't have necessarily the finite answer. It's either that,
You can't do that right now. There's a motion to table it.
That's
We
right,
would
you
have
gotta defeat the
Would have
table.
to- That would have to be.
You can amend your motion.
so.
Then you can amend
Yeah.
the motion.
okay,
To
I
give
just
you an
needed to figure
idea-
out where the layers of motions were. Do you think that if for that dollar amount, we can achieve?
So to give you an idea, he gave me a ballpark. Every Gmail corporate account would be about $100 a year. So it would be a recurring operating expense cost for us. So there's $1,000 a year right here, plus his setup costs, and then any committees that we have, that's going to be another $100 a year. We would not license it for the entire association, just the official parties.
All right, so hypothetically, if we were to defeat the motion to table, get back to the original motion, Stan's proposal here, and modify that saying that we would work up a WPA-owned Gmail or email system for no more than the expenditure he's referencing.
I don't think it'll fit there right off. I really don't know. But there's another alternative. I think we can do business by email as long as we all 100% agree. We could just say, yeah, if it's in the bylaws to allow us to do something like that. It might be members only though. We have to check that out real fast. That's something we can do. We don't have to wait until December, I don't think, if we all agree that we want to move forward on something. Let me try to look that up. But for $2,500, I'm not sure. Rob would have to tell us.
Other than what's on the table, we
Yeah.
know we can do for $2,500, right?
And I have a question. With Stan's motion here method, this 2,500, is that a one-time fee or is that recurring each year?
There is, unfortunately, somebody walked off with the bill. That was all included, again, with the information that I had distributed to everybody last time.
The 25 is just the one time for the setup, and then the yearly would be 528 if it stayed at 10.
With 10 email addresses. So each email address is roughly $50.
Yes.
Okay, so there,
I mean, I get the urgency and I'm fine with either
Yeah.
way. I would just rather to see a comparison between the Gmail and this price-wise, but that's my only,
Well, so can we,
it'd be nice, this was supposed to happen with the website. This was a part of the website that we were supposed to get, and they couldn't deliver what we had initially agreed to. And now they're gone. So we're picking up where we left off. If we do it in-house, which basically we're doing, then we have control of what we're doing, of whatever direction we want to go. Much easier than dealing with an outside vendor.
So there is an informal action that board members can take. It's Article 6, Section 6, allows us to do something informally as long as we all agree in writing between meetings. It's another option for us.
so, well, I guess just on a bigger picture and with the sense of urgency that we get back to Stan's motion here for the dollar amount.
Can we increase it just in case?
Well, if it's over
I-
2,500, then you have to have 3 bids.
Well, this is gonna ultimately be over 2,500 though, right?
yeah, because we want the committees to have
Well,
emails
right
as
now,
well.
the initial setup,
There's 2,500 plus the 528 that he
Plus
just
the committees.
referenced.
Well, the committees don't have to come right now.
I don't,
Splitting,
Well, that's what he said was 2,500 for the setup, and 528 for the,
I'm good with Rob's proposal, keeping the costs in line
yearly cost.
rather than upping the cost.
Robert, is the 528 in the first year? But
Second
is
year,
it included in the first year?
Okay, so you
It's
don't get,
included, so
so the
no.
2,500 is, okay.
2,500 is,
They're not paying attention.
So 2,500,
2478 is what it is.
and that will get us the control emails.
The 10 emails
10
are
people,
included
10
in that
people, for 1 year.
2478 for the first year. Then after that, the yearly cost would be another 528 per year for the 10. And so it's roughly $50,
Yeah.
less than 50 per email account.
okay, and that's just email, we're not getting anything else on, well, we are getting an on-site backup of our documents.
Yeah,
Which is
you want to look at this?
It is important to get a backup, I wholly agree, you know, I remember it now. I just wanted to make sure it was the same one that I was thinking of. But what I'm getting at is,
Backup system configuration, he has with the hard storage here, which I think is,
look, so, just so we're clear, I'm in favor of the objective. I just want more options because I think we can get more, yeah, we have to pay a little bit more, but we can get a more holistic solution if we look at something else. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think
yeah.
I think for what we're getting, I think we should go with it rather than upping the price. I mean, it's already $24.78.
Yeah, well, and so, John, if we do $2,500 or $2,400 now as part of this project, and then we come back and add on to it, is that legal? Because
We'll have to.
now we're going over
So the new
$2,500 for the
board,
same project.
so what you'll be in a new budget, and we'll do some revision in the budget, obviously, because,
I'm just thinking,
This wasn't
is it going over 2,500 at that point?
no, you're
Because
okay.
if you're
Because this is
splitting
this year,
costs across
this is
one
this year,
project.
and then you got next year. It's two different things, two different budgets.
So up to 24, Jesus, I'd much rather table this. I'd rather get it right than get it wrong.
And this does include all the hardware, like the,
Yeah, it does.
okay.
So, okay, wait a minute. So can you get together with Robert and Stan and work up a proposal for the new board in December then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that then. Right? It's fair, yeah? And we'll have comparison dollar-wise and process-wise, right?
Yeah, and if we do that, I'd like to do like a feature comparison as
Yeah,
well,
see
just to
what we
see
get.
if we want that stuff.
Right,
You know,
right.
if
Yeah.
we don't need it, we don't need
All
it.
right, if we do that, I think that's fair.
Rob, how long does it take you to spin that up? If we were to turn this on right now, how long would it take you to spin it up? A day, 2 days? Yeah.
So we could do it.
So the motion
Right,
is to
so
table.
the motion is to table. Wait, where are, I don't either.
We're gonna table
Because there was,
well, we'll table the motion, but I
About-
think
We have
then
a
Brian, Rob, well, I think then Brian, Rob, and you should get together and make a proposal at the December, well, it's gonna be the next regular scheduled meeting of the board to implement a system. That's what we gotta do. With a more I think you're talking more expansive.
Yeah, I'll help out with that
Okay,
research on the
fine, then.
Google side as well,
Wait.
just to get,
Just to get going, and we'll have something to discuss on the table by
Yeah.
December. Seems fair.
We have a motion and a second to table, so let's take a vote on that. If it doesn't table, then keep on going.
all in favor of tabling the motion? Any opposed? Okay. Nay. 2 opposed. Motion carries, though.
Although now, but wait a minute, but we're gonna give direction to Blaine, Brian, to
Stan
Stan, and
has to be
to
in
get
it.
together to come back with a proposal. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
All right, so where are we? Mr. Secretary, are you?
I have one more extremely important announcement to make. The Georgetown Theater Orchestra concert.
That's a conflict of interest, you know.
How can be, I'm a conductor. Tickets.
Don't teach her in horn.
It's December the 4th, Thursday, December the 4th, and you'll know how to get there. It's in Winya Auditorium.
Oh, it's very good, very good.
It's free.
It's even better.
End of report.
Okay. Mr. Treasurer,
Okay, you have the October 1 financials, which cover the operating accounts, which is South State Bank, which is our operating account, and then three South Atlantic accounts, debit card, ARC, and is a small money market. TD Bank is the holding account for the dredging, and that's at $242,218. And then you have Edward Jones. You see where the CDs have been laid down. News on Edward Jones is that our financial advisor, Andy, left. He's in Polly's with a another finance company, but Jason Johnson has taken over, who's right down the street from us, right here on North Fraser. I met with him, and I got a proposal. And then you've got the total investment funds, which only include TD Bank and Edward Jones, $1,047,000 plus. And then you see the reserves as we've allocated the last time. And then you have Spectrum, its ending balance was 49,000, and you have 123,000 in the CD. Now, we have a CD that's come due on 10/20. It was for $200,000. My recommendation is that you go 9 months at 3.75, and that's part of the ladder. It's a good rate. The rates are falling, and so I think it would be a good move. Now, the issue you have to understand is that we're really cash rich. And what I mean by that is we already have 242 set aside for the canals. You've got all the money in the Edward Jones accounts to back the reserves. And,
What about roads?
well, roads are there, Roads, so I'm gonna explain something, because Paul Langer, my little elf, has been discussing budget issues with me back and forth on email, but I have something I want to explain. It'll explain to what you asked. But anyhow, I recommend that we go 200,000 to July, go into July at 3.75 at 9 months. And that's the Ameris Bank Moultrie 200,000 CD note.
And that'll be covered because to be able to go out 9 months, because we'll be having assessments coming in February that will be putting money
Right.
back into
Oh, yeah.
and working.
The association is not in a
I'm just
cash.
making sure that we're not burying ourselves
No.
under by trying to project out.
No way.
The board should probably take into consideration that our policy manual states no investments will be made further than 6 months in advance, period. So if you want to vote on this and pass it, you're violating policies. Y'all did, I didn't vote for it, earlier in the year when you put somebody out there for a year.
However, there's a tagline, Joe, that says that in the board's wisdom, it can go to 12 months if it has sufficient reserves to cover. We have sufficient reserves, and as I was going to get to it, but as Mike says, we're going to start assessments, which are around 400,000 plus, starting to come in January, February, March, and April. So, I mean, we have plenty of funds. The other thing to note,
Well, should we reduce this annual assessment?
no, it's flat. The
It
annual
was
assessment,
surprised that it went up 150. The finance committee said 50. And
it's,
the board took it up 150. I wasn't on board at that time.
the assessment this year is flat. Remember, you gotta fund the canals. You gotta take almost 239,000 out of that 242 is gone.
What do we
You've
got?
got a $95,000 proposal for roads. I mean, the money is gonna get spent down. There's no,
I thought you meant we had a whole bunch of money,
but we do, but,
but it's allocated for future expenses.
yeah, for future.
And that's what's in those reserves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm recommending 200,000 for 3.75 for 9 months with Edward Jones.
Second.
Any, excuse me, any further discussion?
John, I haven't discussed this with anybody, but at the annual meeting, I intend to bring a motion to allow in 2027 the ability for the association to do biannual assessment collection, and followed by 2028 to do quarterly.
Yeah, I can do whatever.
That because, you know, we can't stay at 725 forever, 750 where we're at right now. Can't stay there forever. And having that one lump sum and due in January,
Yeah.
it was really painful for a lot of families.
Yeah.
So being able to split that up.
I do believe, if you look at the bylaws, I did check that, the board can, on an individual basis, decide how it wants to handle Mike comes in, he's got it,
Yes.
and I did that with a lady here not too long ago. So the treasurer and the board can make that determination that they can.
Yes.
But I know what you're saying, you
Yeah.
want
I wanna
to
give
expand
them-
some, expand some policy.
Yeah, if somebody wants to pay annual, that's fine, but
Yeah.
give the option eventually to be
Yeah.
quarterly or even monthly.
Right. But we've done it this year.
You know, I guess it won't really matter too much right now because whatever I would propose wouldn't take effect in 2026
Because
and
you
2027.
got to be careful
Yeah.
though, and one thing is that in order, I think the smart move for that would be the board for 26 will hopefully
Yes.
have a 5-year plan or whatever plan it wants, and then it marries that with how it wants to raise, and then you come up with a policy for.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree with you.
Okay, and we are gonna get another CD mature on the 4th of December.
That's correct.
and that's smaller, we're expecting it to be, it looks like 120.
I'll see what at that point, we'll see what the rates are. The Fed talking about another decrease, so we probably won't get 3.75, but
All right.
whatever, you know.
What are we expecting from a roads expense this fiscal year?
No, wait a minute, let me, don't ask me yet. Let me get through get it through this one.
Yeah, but I mean, so what was our cash, what's our cash status right
We have a
now?
motion on the floor about the renewing.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to get this done, and then I'll get into that.
Yeah, so, no, I'm not trying to.
No,
I'm not trying to.
I'm gonna
I need to
explain.
make sure we have enough cash. to,
Yeah. No,
you know,
you're right.
now to cover any expenses.
No,
so
we're
that's-
good, we're
that's
good,
where that's
we're
coming
good,
from.
we're good.
So what is our current cash status?
We-
Roads reserves $500,000, so how much paving you gonna do in the next 12 months?
Well, we got 210 plus.
Yeah, we have some contracts out from what I understand. Just want to make sure that we're going to be able to pay them. We have enough cash on hand to pay them.
Whatever it's gonna be to fix the sinkhole where they cut the road and everything like that Adam fixed.
That was a small amount, right? Well,
You talking about $6,000 against 500 and some odd thousand?
Now, there's a $210,000 bid out right now to do, plus I never seen a number come across before.
For repaving that road? I
Yeah.
think it's in here.
Yeah, it's coming up, it's coming up.
Whole road.
Wait a minute, I'll get to this.
Can we-
I need to get, let me get this and then I'll explain something.
so we have what, it's looking like it's,
No.
so John, we have about, what, $100,000 cash in operating?
So
Essentially.
what we have, so you take the 77,000, you really got more, because I talked to, well, Chris and Adam aren't here tonight, so I talked to them about what's going on with dredging. It looks like we're not gonna get any bills for the next couple of months, which is wonderful, because that's 219,000 plus 25, which is going to earthworks. So I mean, for now, on a cash basis, that's not gonna affect us. The next thing that will affect us, and Gary's gonna come up and talk about it today, but you got 77,000 operating, you know, that's unencumbered. You have 242,000 really until unencumbered in terms of TD Bank. That's like 319, almost 320,000. You got the CD coming due 12/4, so God forbid that we really need some cash, well, then you just, the CD.
Okay, so that 242 it's not Spectrum, that's ours.
Yeah, that's
All
all
right, then I'm
right.
good. Sorry about that.
No, we've got, no, you raise a good question, but I'll explain, first I want to get through this motion, then I'll explain.
All right, the motion's on the floor. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No.
So this
Okay,
goes to
so-
Mike's question, and then I'll shut up. This goes to
Okay.
Mike's question and Paul Anger, who's been emailing back and forth. Let's take the TD for a minute. That's 242,000. So suppose today, Chris and Adam had come in with $50,000 that the dredging bill. So what would happen on that is, board, the 50 would come out of the 242 and go up to the South State operating account. So it goes up, and then we write a check and it goes out. And then QuickBooks, we have to do some general ledger activity behind the scenes. At the same time that happens, to offset that expense, we would then reduce the canal by 50,000. So it's going up and it's coming down, so it's balancing off, and that's how that works. And so that the reserves are, every time you spend, the reserves go down, it comes out of CDs, the CD money goes into the South State, and the check is written, so that's how it works. But we have, I mean, really, the board's gonna have to have some major decisions about what it wants to do with the assessment money as it's coming in, because you're gonna have another $400,000 coming in. But, yeah, we don't have a budget, we have a budget for it. The budget that now, we would carry reserves of about 191,000 for 26, so. But roads eats it up quickly. You got 95, I mean, you don't even, the 191 won't even cover roads. But anyhow, that's an aside.
You're saying
Anything else?
we need 190,000.
No, what I'm saying is, based on the budget we adopted 26, we would move, right? If you spent all the money, and all the money as we projected, you'd have 191,000.
Oh, I got you.
But what's interesting is we have $77,000 in the operating account in South State. we only spend on a monthly basis maybe 12 to 15,000. We're gonna have a surplus in the operating account too, so. But it's not audited, I mean, it's there. but-
Yeah, so moving forward in December, we're gonna have to make sure that we have.
That's right.
3 months operating expenses.
I would say 3 months because you're gonna have,
No, yeah.
you're gonna have to jockey the operating and the big deal would be the canal dredging.
Right.
So you gotta watch your cash flow.
Yeah, so-
Right now, you're fine, we're fine.
Yeah, all right, so 3 months plus the canals, plus whatever we're about to take out for roads, whenever it happens.
Right.
Okay, so as long as we're good there,
Yeah,
I'll take your direction on that.
done.
Done? Okay. All right. Committee reports. Art, we have no report. Community,
Question for,
yes.
I got a complaint from people who are on rice field about an excavator being in Rockwell, and they're doing $7. Robert said that they have our approved. What
Yes.
are they doing there?
Clearing the lot. That's it.
Or
They were
ask, or-
approved, they are just clear, that their approval was to clear the lot.
Well,
That was
I was
it.
there a couple today, they're doing more than clearing, they're bringing in 40 loads of soil.
I don't know. We're following up on that one because I was gonna talk to, this is a side note, Adam, as far as drainage, because apparently they're putting a drainage ditch in or something too, so. Yeah, they were just, yeah. It was just checked out today, so we're following through on that. We're following up on that.
And
We're
second thing-
contacting him.
Second thing I have is back to line 81. You said, and I have an email, that it doesn't impede on the pipe or
Correct.
any WPA property or anything like that. I have a blueprint right here. They own 1.5 feet. That's 18 inches. You're putting in a 6x8 dock. There's no way you can get a 6x8 dock to fit in 18 inches.
According to the survey that he had, he has more than that. So we'll have to take that, you'll have to take that up with Art. They, committee approved, every member of the committee approved it.
Okay,
Every single
that-
member.
That brings my next point. My next point is on, if you look at the permit in there, it was approved 8/15/25 for a dock, or not a dock, for a screen room and a tree.
Yes,
Okay, on April 4th, I was heading up to get an MRI. They had a crane and a dock sitting on their property. I could not stop because it was one MRI. I came back that day and I came in and checked, and there's a dock written on that. And I had no other date but the 8/15/25. So, I have an email from Robert stating that the permit was approved.
it was.
On it, when?
I don't know, I'd have to look through the records.
8/11 or 9/11 is when it was approved, when you had the committee go down there and look. So somebody's falsifying documents in here that we had that, they wouldn't have a doc sitting there ready to go in.
As far as,
On April, on
when I-
September 4th, and you didn't approve it until the 11th.
when the committee went there to approve it, and keep in mind, the county already approved it before ARC even went there.
They can't.
The
You need
county-
a survey, you as ARC should have had a survey on hand to say, this is what we own. Not say, oh, look, there's a stake, you know what, I can pick a stake up and go, there's a stake now. I mean, you need a survey.
The county approved it according to the residents' survey. The county approved it. When ARC went there to look at it and give him his approval, there was no dock there, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that
He
was
had
on the
no
11th.
dock there.
That was on the 11th, when you had everybody from ARC sign the thing. I have on the 10th from Bobby McMahon, where you called for a meeting that nobody was able to make it at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you wanted everybody there. And then you had the meeting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon with everybody, and then they came in and signed it. There is something going on that shouldn't be going on. We have stuff being approved that isn't approved, and somebody wrote it down. We have another case that ARC has on their paper when approved by, a variance issued by the county. That's not on his copy. Somebody is falsifying paper. And I know who it is. And I'm gonna give you an ultimatum. I'm gonna ask you to step down, or I am going to the county and I'll file charges on you.
All right, this is absurd.
No, I am going to, either you have an opportunity to resign, or have to file, charges filed on you.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Go
See you
for
in
it. Go for it.
All right, let's go to
I
committee.
did nothing wrong, so I did nothing wrong, so I'm not
Bring your
concerned.
proof that you did something wrong.
So
I
if-
did nothing
if I-
wrong.
I'm gonna step aside from that just a little bit. I did request that, it's related to this, I did request to have added to our agenda for the WPA to have that, our lot surveyed, because there's some discrepancy. And there is a wooden stake sitting on top of our drain pipe, but that is a plat that's filed at the Register of Deeds, and it shows that that property line should be much closer to the house. So I would rather have this in new business, but I make a motion that we have our lot right there surveyed for our purposes.
I think you're gonna have to, it's not part of it, it's not, this is a committee report, excuse me, a committee report. I understand what Mike is saying and what you're saying, put it under new business, but the committee report is simply the committee report.
That's fair.
Yeah, but somebody's falsifying information on the committee.
Okay.
They're legal documents that are
Okay.
being falsified.
Okay, but let's put it under, let's bring it up in let's get through the committee, we'll go do new business, and then we can have a full discussion.
You're making accusations that are totally, completely unfounded. It's a committee of 5 or 6 people, and every single one
Grab the permit
signed it.
Grab the permit out of the thing, and we'll see how.
All right, let's go to communicate. It's okay.
You're afraid to grab your permit, grab your permit.
We're not going to do that right now,
Because you
Michael.
know I am right.
No, you are absolutely wrong. And I have a lot of witnesses. Bob Garrison, Bob McMahon,
We got communication.
Tom Macedo, Mike Macedo.
You got Cindy. Let's Cindy, why don't you
I
give
have
the communication?
email from Bob McMahon on the 10th that you approved, that he approved a dock and a tree, and he knows nothing about a dock.
He went out there and
On the
approved
11th.
it.
And it was written in the permit before then.
We can argue this all night. Michael, you're wrong. The committee did nothing wrong. Cindy?
So I'm gonna start off with the welcoming committee report. During the last month, we welcomed 3 newcomers, and we have several newcomers on our list that we're trying to touch bases with. As you know, welcoming attendants to contact everyone prior to dropping off bags. My recommendation for next year's committee is that we continue to do goodie bags, but in addition, if this board does add a patio, which we've talked about, that the welcoming committee will host a meet and greet quarterly here at the office building. And I think that we can do a really awesome event here. We will have enough money in the budget to do so. I'd like to thank Debbie Cocaine for her help this year as a member of the welcoming committee. It has been an honor to represent the Wedgefield HOA as a member, as the welcoming chairperson. I wanted to let the board know that we have spent $457.79 year-to-date on the welcoming gifts, leaving us a budget of $2,542.21. Respectfully submitted, Cindy Wright. With the communications report, so guys, I have typos here. There's been some corrections. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read my report, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna retype it, and I will resubmit this to you guys all via email today, this evening before I go home. To date, the Communications Committee has spent $3,911.28. We have $1,088.72 remaining in its 2025 budget. The approved budget for 2026 is $7,500, which was probably about the cost of living increase. So I want to bring up the website. The final payment for the website was made on February 5th. While Will from Surfside Web promised to finish the final touch list to include the directory, he sold the company without notifying us to Sharp Innovations. From the best we can calculate, he was under negotiations with them at the last general meeting back in November. And the best we can determine, he sold the company January, about the same time that we made the final payment. He promised all along that he would finish up the punch list, but he did not. He was non-responsive to Sharon, and we found out about the sale when the HOA received an invoice for servicing the website, for continuing servicing the website. So we have an attached list that still needs to be, I think, items that still need to be corrected. And you'll see this on attachment A. So I know you guys have not had an opportunity to review it. I don't know whether there's something that you guys, the board wants to review, this board wants to do it, or whether you want to table it to next year. There's basically 4 items. They'll cost us between $660 and $825, roughly $165 per hour if they do it. We talked to them about possibly doing the video on the website. If they do it, roughly $2,380. All of this can wait till the new board if you want to table it. If this is something that we can contract out to someone else, it's up to you guys what you want to do. This does not address the director. That's a whole new ballgame.
Well, you know my feeling on that contract. It wasn't a contract.
No, it was not.
And you know my feeling on it.
Mine too.
And the chickens came home to roost.
Yes, mine too.
Okay, water over the dam. Was the I can't remember, was the directory part of that original 2-letter proposal?
It was.
I would say, board, we table this. I think incumbent with what Blaine and Brian, pull this together and come up with a proposal in December. That would be my, well, you don't have to table it, you're not, no motion, but I think
There's
this,
no motion.
but we need to do something on this, so.
Okay. And
More comprehensive.
More comprehensive. Sharon has been the liaison between communications and, because she's done so much with that aspect, so she's still willing to work with the new committee if you guys want her to do so.
So, well, let me ask you a question, though. Is
Yes.
Mr. Lagunya, how do you pronounce his name? Gwyn? Is he part of Sharp Communication now?
And they've been very, very communicative.
And Sharp Communication, we had a contract with Surfside.
Surfside.
The company has sold, all assets of Surfside go to the new company.
Yes.
They owe us, I think we need to go Joe Crosby.
Yes, I think so too. I agree.
It's not a free pass here.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
have no idea what was sold to them. I'm trying to
Right.
get that information, but I have no other information. I don't, who, what, when, where, how.
I agree. I think that's our first step.
I think we gotta go Joe
Yeah.
Crosby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they sold their accounts over to them, then.
That's what I'm saying, that we're an asset.
Right.
We're an asset of that sale.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you all the information we have.
Yeah, let me have it and I'll transfer it to, I'll give it to Joe, yeah.
So holiday decorating is that time of year. Oh, target holiday decorating. With communications, one of our jobs is Toys for Tots. And so this is a plug. Georgetown County is desperately looking for volunteers for Toys for Tots. I can't even get anyone out to drop off the boxes. So I am going to be picking up boxes.
So we're desperately looking for volunteers, so please help me put the word out. They need volunteers. They've got a coordinator from Horry County is doing the coordination for both counties now, but they don't have anyone to pick up the boxes, to drop up the boxes, to pick up the toys, to deliver the toys. So please, please, please help out. Holiday decorating. On October 13th, I reached out to the grounds committee so that we could set a date for the Christmas tree lighting. I was informed that I'm in charge of decorating this year. So I've attached a copy of the policy and communication, and I was going to attach grounds, but I realized, I found out that we're going to be doing the second reading for landscaping tonight, which states that they're responsible for the holiday decorating. In the past, grounds has taken the lead. So my question to this board is who is going to take the lead this year and whose budget?
It has Christmas holiday events underneath community events for communications. And lighting, setting up the lights is pretty much an event, because this is an all-day
It's
event.
always been just the Christmas tree lighting. Grounds has always taken the lead for they did it last year.
Grounds doesn't exist anymore though, right?
It's landscape, but that's
Landscape.
It's all broken up.
But go back, Brian, and if you look at the new second policy, for the reading of the second policy tonight, read that.
I'm looking for it.
It's in
Quick,
there.
quick. It's in the
I have PPE.
back.
I don't, where's landscaping? I just have PPE.
New landscape.
Is it on the back? There it goes, on the back side of that one, okay.
It's on the
What's it
back.
say?
I'm not sure, I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
Oh, here it is, I got it, yeah, there it is, right. Yeah.
I can tell you that, Jennifer couldn't make it tonight, but she stated that she had a meeting with Stan, and in that meeting, when they were breaking up the grounds and landscaping, and I think Jill was there as well, that it was agreed that the Christmas tree lights, that setting them up and everything was gonna go to communications,
All of it.
and it was not gonna be under landscaping anymore.
All of it. But there was no policy.
Maryland made that motion.
There was no policy. All right.
Jill,
Jill,
please,
no
no.
policy change either way.
Yeah.
You know, if communications was going to do it, we would have started in July, and nor do we have funding to do it. We did not increase my funding for this year, it was cut in half.
Well, we still have all the equipment from last year, so it's not like you need new funds for this. You just
Yes,
need.
you do. You can't put
Okay.
this up on a tree. Can't do a lift
We did it.
because we don't have liability this year.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's gonna cost $450 to get somebody to even get a lift.
Okay.
We don't have funding.
Yeah,
Well, then request it. Request it. We did it for free last year anyway, but I mean,
Like somebody Baker does.
if you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it, and we'll get somebody to do it for
I
you.
want to know from this board which policy is correct.
We don't have a policy yet. We don't have a landscape policy because it hasn't been voted on, but we have direction from when they said, when they created that it was gonna go to communications. And you have a communications lighting event.
And this won't be rented, like, because it was tabled because there were supposed to be amendments made to it, and none of the amendments have been made to it.
But communication says we're only responsible. It's just so.
Well, since
Well, we can-
everybody
we
coming
can-
in
Does say
to the community would be welcome to buy Christmas lights, why don't we use the $2,100
Yeah, holiday lights,
that's
yeah,
left
for lights.
over in the welcoming committee for this?
And I'm
And
fine
then we
with
can
that.
use a cherry picker for 3 hours.
So I'm fine with that. I'm asking this board who's going to be responsible. I want you guys to tell me who's going to be responsible.
I move that communications is responsible.
Second.
Okay? You need to wait until second reading?
No, I'm just gonna tell you that you're responsible. If we vote for you, vote yes.
Vote to?
And then you can come back and ask us for money.
Okay, when?
Right now, you already have a price for getting a lift, so you've done some investigation. Tell us how much you need and we'll take care of it.
Johnson, with legal.
Pardon me?
What's legal? What's our legal responsibility with
You,
volunteers?
if a volunteer, okay, and I've gone through this before, if it's, say it's Baker Glass, we're covered. But if it's an individual living here and we rent a lift and that individual then goes out with that lift and has a problem, we're not covered.
Okay.
That's the, volunteers are not covered. That's,
So my next question for you is, if we have to get a lift, okay, and it's gonna cost us roughly $450 to get a lift for my volunteer, but I can't have volunteers on it, correct?
that's correct.
So I'm gonna.
Well, you could, but we're liable, that's the problem.
So my options are, I have to find
Somebody to come in.
somebody who's gonna do it, and from my understanding, Baker said that they're not gonna do it, or we're gonna have to hire somebody.
Why was Baker, we don't know why they're not doing
I don't know, I heard that they were not gonna do it. So it means we have to hire someone? Okay, so.
Why, has anybody spoken to Baker?
From what I've heard, I have not spoken.
Well, I think we ought to speak,
So
I think he's a good guy, I think we ought to speak to him anyhow.
Can someone make a motion to move welcoming budget over to communications?
Say that again?
Whoever to do communication to do the Christmas lights.
I have a question first. When we wrote, when this who wrote, where did this policy come from? Because it does specifically say holiday decorations under landscape.
Landscaping,
Yeah,
It specifically says that.
yeah, it-
And this is and this is,
and you read the first reading.
and this is what we did the first reading
You
on.
read the first reading.
Yeah, first reading is not a second reading. We have to remember that.
Right.
Correct.
And the second reading was going to be done, and it was tabled
What-
because there's stuff in here
What
that
was-
isn't right, that was supposed to be taken out, and hasn't been taken out.
What specifically was that?
I already told you earlier,
Okay, we have,
What is it?
where it says in here that you have the right to come on an undeveloped lot anytime you want. No, you don't. I own that lot.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I pay tax on that lot, I pay assessment on that lot. That lot is no different than having a house or anything else on it. You
Cindy,
can't just walk on my
let
lot.
me ask a question, Cindy. So, assuming that you started today, what exactly would be the process for the lights? Just go through the scenario for us.
okay, so in an ideal world, I would have started in July.
Oh, yeah, I know, but
Okay, no.
Well,
you're starting now. So what happens now?
So what I have to do now is we have to get a committee together.
Okay,
We have to set a date.
all right,
I have to check and see if we have someone with a lift.
Okay.
Who can do it. We have to check and see if the lights will work. If they don't work, and if we can't find that, then we have to sit back and regroup. Worst case scenario is.
That's only if you choose to do that, at the same thing we have no decisions. It's only if you decide to do the same thing as if you last year.
Right, I could, exactly, so I have to go out and see what lights we have available.
we got-
We haven't done that yet. Because
yeah, there's too much.
I just
All right.
found out on the 13th that this is, I just found out on the 13th. So I haven't
Okay.
had a chance to do that.
Okay, so,
All right.
all right, so if you're going to do the same thing you did last year, I got somebody, I'll call.
Okay.
We want to make sure Baker is just out of this, but the other individual can maybe give us a lead to do what Baker has done in the
So
past.
that's the same thing that we.
Right.
So we have not, I don't have a committee together.
All right.
We haven't looked at the lights. We got a lot of stuff to do between now.
Well, I
The worst case scenario, we may need extra money, and so I guess, and we'll do it, communications, I mean,
what did we spend does anybody know what we spent last year on lights?
I'm like, what, I'm sorry?
How much did we spend last year on the decoration?
We have to ask Jill.
Huh?
We have to ask Jill. She's the one who.
Okay.
It was. We reused a lot, and then we just bought the extra.
Well, we paid for and provided the Santa Claus, and Bonnie and I paid for and provided the nativity scene.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff was people on the committee and interested in the community, spending their own money and donating it.
Yeah,
I think had
we
fun.
did spend a good chunk, but a lot of that chunk is still in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody approached Christian Crescenzo
Hold on,
about
Cindy,
golf course
All
being interested?
Don't have a side
All
conversation.
right, one person at a
Golf course,
time,
would they like to help
please.
us? He has scissor lifts, he has cherry pickers,
Yeah, yeah.
and he has people that do it.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Insurance
I was
office.
thinking of going to him.
Yeah.
so it sounds like maybe you want communications to take the lead,
Right.
and we'll do that.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll meet with my committee tomorrow, and we'll set up a date to set up, look at the lights and see what we have available. We'll see what we want to do, and then John, I'll work with you.
I tell you what, why don't you work with your committee, come up with a plan and dollars, and we'll communicate it back to the board. The board can, through email, make a decision.
I'll do one better.
What?
I'm gonna, because.
Make a motion? You want to make
Well,
a?
I'm gonna retract the motion
Yeah.
that is communications, because it sounds like she's willing to take it back.
Yeah.
I'll make a new motion that we spend up to $2,000.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'll second.
Any discussion?
You did?
Yeah. Did you? Well, it's now 4,000.
All in favor of spending up to $1,000 for
Two.
Christmas?
Two.
$2,000 for Christmas decorations. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
And then the last thing I'll say is, I'm gonna let you, firstly, thank you guys. I'm very proud of the communications team. We're small-minded, we work really well together. But we're also very appreciative of all the volunteers who've shown up to make our activities successful. And I'd like to thank the team, I wish they were here tonight, but Stephanie, Georgianne, Sharon, and then we have a couple of other people who really aren't on the committee, but they always show up and help us out, Miss Robert Maryland. So thank you guys all, respectfully submitted to the communications chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Where are we?
compliance, Mike?
I have no report.
I have a question, please, staying on that. This sharp innovations and this attachment A on page paper.
Yeah.
Oh, did we table this?
No, we're going to go to Joe Crosby. Joe.
Okay.
Because we feel that it was an asset sold, we had a valid contract, and we're on some,
Running to the land.
yeah.
Okay. We're a liability.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that gonna be at the annual meeting or just some?
I'm going to get it, we'll get to Joe, tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Got it.
We're not going to wait.
Condo liaison, Inga?
Yes. The Ridgefield Village Association is still waiting on resolutions from the WPA to correct the flooding in regions 3 and 5, as well as resolutions on paving the roads of Ridgefield Village Road and Pool Place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Drainage, Ellen?
So we saw about 10 inches of rain during the nor'easter over the weekend of October 11th and 12th. The king tides that led up the week leading up to that event made things a little more nerve-wracking. But we were fortunate that we didn't see the water level rise to the same heights that it did during the nor'easter of December of 23. The retention pond at Rags Ferry was definitely full, and that inhibited the drainage on those storm boxes, the street side storm boxes. But the keyway and the ditch improvements that were made from that retention pond into the North Marsh were flowing as intended. I was out there during that rain. And so the bright side of that is that the pond was able to drain and it never breached the road as it did in 2023. I think we've all seen and noticed the water that's sitting in the ditches over the last week. And that's going to be a focus of the Long Range Drainage Committee, Drainage and Infrastructure Committee. I've been in communication with several companies about regrading ditches, something I was talking to Stan about the other day. It hasn't been done by the WPA in about 25 years. It was 2000 since the last time the WPA went through and assessed and regraded ditches. They replaced a lot of the steel culverts with concrete at that time too. I know Low Country Grounds has been in the neighborhood, and they were out taking an inventory of the hot spots, basically the ditches that were holding the most water. So they have a pretty good working knowledge of our problem. Also, Live Oak Excavation is going to provide us a scope of work with establishing the ditch along the south side, which is the right side of Rags Ferry, the one in front of regimes 3 and 5. I've been in constant contact with those residents. I was talking to all of them during the nor'easter and the weeks leading up to it. We've actually made contact with the owners of the Duck Club, and I'm hopeful that we're going to have a meeting in the next week or so. Several of those owners live out of town, but they're very anxious to talk to us. We contribute some water to them that none of us really knew about, but we saw this on display during the nor'easter with all the rain we got. They don't want any more of our water. They want to control their water, and they had no idea that we were having some of the issue we had. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to really get them to move on some of this here soon. Also, talking about some of the water in these ditches, I've taken it upon myself before to go out and try to clean some of the clogs here and there. Didn't do that much this time. Bob Meltzer actually helped me out cleaning a ditch on Francis Parker. It's kind of at the bottom of the hill leading up to the storm box, and it was blocked up, not letting the water run all the way downhill, so it actually helped out a couple of properties there. Also, that being said, as far as the long-range committee continues, I'm going to try to get a meeting together, if not this week, early next week. I wanted to push it out till after this. We were going to try to bring in one of the, not hydrologists, but one of the engineers from G3 Engineering to talk about a hydro study for the neighborhood. Also kind of hopeful that we can find some of these little low-hanging fruit kind of projects that we can tackle ourselves and save a little bit of money. That being said, Steve and Ralph, y'all are on deck now. Bob pulled his duty on one ditch already, so we'll find some stuff for you guys to do too. I was also informed, this was in my report prior to any of the other stuff that came up, but somebody called me about some work going on rice fields, and that is not WPA drainage. Now, we have had a group that's come out to look at the situation over there. Bricefield floods a lot. They have a big water problem in a very specific area during king tides. Part of it is on the outer canal where there are bulkheads, and then at some point historically the WPA wanted these people to dig a swale, and it kind of renders a bulkhead useless when you have a break in it. Anyway, you have that problem over on rice fields, but also the inner part of the canal on that side, which I think is the lot that's having some work done to it right now.
There's a drainage pipe in that lot.
That drainage pipe is super low already. We knew that. It actually allows water to backflow up it.
It should have a check valve flapper on it, and it's not working.
Well, I don't know. I'm not involved in any way in what's going on over there. I've just had I've put out a request for a proposal to a group. I've had one group look at it. They haven't gotten a proposal back. If they're bringing in dirt over there, that's probably going to be the first step in fixing that problem. Now, I don't know if they followed the process, because I don't know anything about what's going on over there. Now, whether they pulled the permits and they're going about that the right way. They're probably sniffing around some of the work that we're ultimately going to have to do. So I would say, whatever's going on, let's rein it in, get it permitted, making sure it's working the right way. But we might want to, obviously that'll mean we need to review the plans. I don't know the entire ARC process with that, but just be mindful they might be doing some of the work that we would end up having to do too.
Well, they had dug a ditch, and they have a driveway they put in. They have a pipe under the driveway right now, and it's got rough concrete, like they just had a truck dump some concrete. They didn't finish it or anything like that. I guess because they're going to be driving excavators across, it would just crack anyway, so they didn't.
They're just trying to build a bridge,
yes,
essentially. But
they did do it. They did do a ditch, and they had trucks and everything like that parked, so I couldn't really see what they were doing, and it was all mud, and I wasn't walking through the mud to investigate.
I'm going to dig on that a little bit more, because I think one of the vendors on that site is actually a vendor we use, and I know those guys. And so once I get them to define a little bit about what they're doing, if they're not doing something right, then there's a procedure that has to be followed. That's totally fine. But at the same time, I think it's important we hear what their plan and what their approach is there, because again, they might be taking care of part of the problem we have on rice fields anyway. I don't know, but
they were very secretive to me today. We're here clearing, and we're bringing in 40. And then he said, "Oh, well, we'll be bringing in 40 trucks of 40 loads of soil." Wait a second, that's more than just clearing.
So, but that, and this isn't a defense of anybody. Obviously, I know some of these people involved, but I don't know the property owner, or maybe I do. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody about what's going on over there. But that, making sure the work that's being done on that job site is the burden is on the homeowner in that respect, not the guy that came over to do the work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all well and good. We need to find out those guys don't know that the guy that hired them didn't get the right permits. Right. So, I mean, however we need to handle that, sending out a letter and making a phone call, and you're doing more than your permit allows, and I think that's certainly in order.
Well, the guy that was there today knew that they had the permit from the ARC and they had an Army Corps permit. So he knew what permits he had.
Yeah, they do have that.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously there's some more work that's got to be done to figure out what actually is going on over there. But part of that problem over there, that inner side, that the lot in question that's being worked on, they've got a really low storm drain, and so when you get even just above a mid tide, it's already backflowing up that storm box. But that lot is super wet, and it has a ditch. But I think that there's probably more avenues for the high tide, not even a flood tide, but a higher tide to inundate that lot. And building up the grade of that would obviously slow down how much water is running into the street on Rice Field.
True.
And then across the street, we've got to figure out what they're doing to filling in the gap between those two bulkheads.
I know when I was moving in here, 68 Roycefield is one of the ones that I was looking at, and I'm glad I didn't buy it, because you say the word high tide and the water's over the bulkhead there.
Well, I'm gonna put a video together. It probably won't have it for the annual meeting, but in December, we'll kind of go back and look at some of the things, some of the areas in the neighborhood that have just crazy amounts of water problems. Interesting with this nor'easter is there places that I drove around expecting to see a lot of problems, and Russ and I talked about this too. There was water in places that I don't see having water problems, in the places that are always your just no-brainer, you're going to be flooded out. It was weird. I don't understand how this worked. I don't think it rained harder in one area than another. I think it highlights the fact that we're probably due for an overall ditch regrade, blowing out storm boxes, blowing out under driveway culverts. I know historically the board has always felt like, maintaining your ditch was always the sole responsibility of the homeowner. I think it's great when we have homeowners that keep the ditches clean and make sure their culverts don't have a basketball stuck in them to block up the flow water, which happens a lot actually. But I also think it's not a good practice for us. Those ditches, the pitch on these ditches they're just as important as a grade on the road, right? And so you have situations throughout, and this is where we're seeing, right? You have some people that probably never cleaned the ditch in front of their house out, and their culverts are halfway covered with grass, and I mean, they mowed the grass in it, right? But they have filled in, and now the water doesn't flow. And then you have other ones where people are diligent at cleaning their ditches, and what's happened is they've created a belly. You've got to maintain a certain pitch, and it has to go the length of the street. You can't have one house that does more than the next house, because that's where you'll have your problem. And
I saw that. The perfect example was this last storm. That you're going down, you're seeing the water flowing, going down Wedgefield. You see the water flowing, and then all of a sudden the water is hitting one driveway and it's spreading out. And look at the other side of the driveway; it's just a trickle.
Well, there's sections of roads that have problems like that, and that's where we'll start with those spots first. Obviously, I know. And then going back to the Clemson study, there was one, somebody made a comment that they didn't understand what Clemson said about us receiving so much water from Mansfield. Well, interesting, we did a little bit of a drainage remediation on lot 496, and that ditch still has water in it. And somebody's like, hey, the ditch isn't flowing, you need to get over there, we need to regrade it. Go over there, and it's pouring water. And I walked back up into Mansfield a couple of 100 yards. It's like we have a whole stream. And there's water still coming off of Mansfield in that ditch. It's unbelievable how much water that is. I have no idea to guess how many gallons that is. But it is draining, but we are still getting the water, 10 days, almost 14 days later.
Do you have any?
But it's working.
Any more? Are you?
No, I'm done. That concludes my report, sorry. And I'm sorry I was late. I did let Stan know I was going to be tardy tonight.
That's okay.
Well, I did. You didn't tell everybody?
All right,
Do you-
moving on,
Please,
yes.
please. Do you need us to approve this invoice, or did we approve it last month?
That's a different, this is the paving.
That's paving, Joe.
That's
That's
paving,
just
95.
re-topping the top
That's
of it.
paving.
that's paving.
Well, this, this is
From here.
fixing where we did some good drainage work.
Yes.
Paving it? Okay.
Finance, please.
Be short and sweet. Okay, Spectrum. We're now up to 388 subscribers. It was 370 in August. The actual budget we adopted for 2026 was 380. Rob's got somebody he's talking with, that will get us 389. The Hanson House Soul, I'm talking to him, will be at 390. I think we're gonna be at 400 without batting an eye. The break even, to give you an idea, is 316 subscribers, we're at 388. It cost us $53.21 per subscriber, so Spectrum is the least of our worries. The other news on Spectrum is I tasked Peggy to take a look at all the new bills from last June when the program started through August. There are 19. We get $300 for that, so there's another $5,700 that's going to
nice.
go into the CD. Okay, that's Spectrum. That should be the least of our worries. Russell Bach, if you remember, the board decided
Right.
we would hire him as accountant. He's going to start November, 1st of November, so he's going to start with the tax returns both for the 1120 and the 1120S with the state. So that's an issue. I made a mistake. I have to, mea culpa. My other accountant caught me. We just have to, where is it? I made a $2 mistake in the 2026, oh, here it is. 2020 budget at the end. It was 191, it was approved at the balance reserve allocation that we were going to submit was 191,658, and it really should be 191,656. So we make that adjustment, we're okay. Now, I think because of the way the packet went out, we probably should put this on the website, that the budget and the agenda for the meeting, because we haven't really, we haven't put an agenda out. But I would include this, blast this out as
All right.
an adjustment, so.
I'll make sure that communications
Yeah.
get those.
The
Okay.
board approved $2?
Yeah.
Okay, that's me, I'm done.
Okay. Landscaping, I have from Jennifer, excuse me. During the week of October 13th, the landscaping committee removed the old flowers and prepped our 5 beds for planting. On Friday, October 17th, the landscaping committee planted perennials as requested. A huge thank you to the members of the committee, Nikki McNair, Patrick Montgomery, and Mary Sasso for your hard work. I also want to thank Dawn Cope and Herb Spate for helping out the committee and your neighbors. I look forward to giving a full report from the past year during our annual meeting submitted by Jennifer Larimore. Legal, do you have any
Yeah,
updates
two
for us?
issues. The Ricketts suit is going to a hearing in November, and Marilyn and I had discussed with Joe Crosby a negotiation settlement with the 22 lot owners. It was extremely low offer. We turned it down, and now we've instructed Joe to go after foreclosure on the 22 lots. He hasn't heard anything back, so we're going to foreclose now. That's it,
Okay,
I'm done.
that's it,
Yep.
okay. PP&E? Stan?
Yeah. The irrigation system required additional work. We've been battling it for a few weeks here. Pressure was still low and Angel Oak recommended we clean the intake pipe. Thanks to Gary Dreyer and his trusty kayak for going out in the middle of the pond and cleaning out the intake pipe. Pressure improved, but was still not satisfactory. Angel Oak changed the backflow valve on the intake pipe and then did an inspection of the entire system, including repairing sprinkler heads that were clogged with pond debris. Once we got the system going, the heads they went around and fixed the whole thing. The system is now fully operational and programmed for the watering schedule recommended for the new plants. So the water, that system is only running twice a week. The other system out in front is running 3 times a week. End of report.
Okay, thank you.
How much did that cost?
Angel Oak, we haven't gotten a bill yet.
Oh, so we approved it without, okay, fine.
What, is there anything we can do to keep the intake pipe from getting clogged with debris? Is it just sucking mud out of the
No,
pond?
the pipe, if you look, there's a floating, now I understand it, there's a floating thing there. The pipe is underneath that, and that pipe has a bunch of inlets that's cut into that pipe, and that's what lets the water in. It was completely, Gary had a scraper and went through that whole pipe and cleaned it out,
Wow.
so that the water would be able to get into the system. But the,
What is it filled with, like leaves and stuff, just?
no, algae and mud. Well, ask Gary, he had firsthand knowledge.
Basically algae.
So it's, one of the recommendations Angel Oak made was that we, who's ever tending our pond, that we get the algae, less of it.
Could,
Reduce the amount of algae in the pond.
could we
There you
put,
go.
I mean, just a shot in the dark question, but could it, like, algae eating fish or something like that in there that might help, or?
We already tried that. We just get somebody that does pond maintenance and have them put bluestone in it every 3 or 4 months.
Well, we're actually, in conjunction with the golf course, they have 17 ponds, and we piggybacked on them with our 2. But it appears as though they need to come out again. So I need to see Phil or somebody on
Phil,
that.
no, Christian.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Roads, Gary?
Been in communication, I think I might have told everyone that the original person that I was working with at the roads was involved in a kind of horrific car accident, so I've been working with a new person who seems very, very communicative too. So that's going real well. They are scheduled to actually start the work on this Thursday.
Oh,
But
good.
that's still tentative based on, whatever else they got going on. I'll know better Thursday morning, they will let me know. So anyway, that's all the work. We did have a couple of pieces that needed to be added on. And I submitted a quote for everyone to be able to review that. But basically, it's for the utility, the drainage work that was done on Daniel Morale. That's to patch that. And then the other part of the work was that this wasn't in the quote, the original quote that we did with Coastal. But on John Wade's, the cul-de-sac at the end needs to be widened. If you look at it, it's a very narrow section of road through there. It's not even a full width of the road. And you can see where cars are constantly turning in, and basically the inside of the cul-de-sac is a mud hole. So the proposal is to fill that with stone and let that get packed down a little bit, and then come in and pave that. So that those 2 additions to what we had quoted amount to $6,100.80. Now, we did have some extra, I think when we approved the original roads quote, it was, I'm forgetting whether it was 206 or 216, but we approved up to 220. So we haven't used any of that extra, the difference, which was $3,000 or $4,000. So some of that would even could be applied to this, because this is part of that work. So then, but we could also hold that in reserve if we have anything else come up while they're working. So I'm asking, I'm making a motion that we approve $6,180 to finish the, repave the road on Daniel Morale and widening the cul-de-sac on John Wade's.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No one's opposed, so you're good.
Okay, so, and then the other thing is, I will be, I'll let the guy know that we can go ahead with those two things, because they're probably gonna come in and try and put the stone in right away.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, I'll have further information about where they're gonna start, and so that I can pass that on to everybody. Typically, when they do these kind of jobs, they do one half of the road at a time, and they're gonna be doing the cul-de-sac, so it's not really gonna impact traffic too much, because they're just gonna be working on a cul-de-sac, and they will be mainly doing, they'll go in on one side and come around and then get the other side. So there shouldn't, anybody that lives on one of these cul-de-sacs should be able to get it in and out. They might have a little problem with the driveway or something, but, there'll be somebody there to help them.
Good.
I don't know
Okay.
whether it makes any difference to you. If they're gonna start Thursday, the power company's gonna be in here.
Yeah, that's right.
Thursday also, we're gonna be without electricity.
The whole thing.
I don't know how much of the
Or some.
plantation is
Yeah, okay.
involved.
Okay. Again, I won't know,
Yeah.
until I talk to them
I don't
tomorrow.
think it make any
That-
difference to them, but they should be aware they're not
That
gonna
probably
be able to
wouldn't
call
impact
anybody
them.
in the office.
Okay.
With the trucks, man.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay, I do have a report from Water Amenities. The boat landing, the landing project involving the movement and placing of concrete, dirt, and seeding is still on hold as we experience king tides crossing over the landing area. As soon as the tides subside, this work will be performed. On October 7th, Earthworks, Brunswick Dredging, and the WPA, represented by Chris Carroll, met with the ACOE for our final pre-construction meeting. The ACOE found everything in order and gave the okay to start dredging. Dredging has started at, and is currently in the North Canal entrance. As we approach the annual meeting, new board members will be elected, including new committee chairs and volunteers. Your current 2025 committee has requested our board to budget approximately $40,000 to replace one of the docks at the landing in 2026, along with the recommendation for the second dock to be replaced in 2027. As always, if you see any safety concerns at the landing or anything related to water amenities, please contact the office in writing or email, and we will address it as soon as possible. Submitted by Chris Carroll and Adam Anderson.
I have a quick question. John, what did we, back in August, when we approved the dredging contract, didn't we also do some approvals for the docks down at, there was no,
We approved, 230, I think it was 239,000, which included 25.5 for Earthworks as the management of the,
Yeah.
but in the dredging. But
yeah, it's totally separate from that.
I put some money, we put money in for Chris, so.
I think we did for 2026,
Yeah,
didn't
but
we?
now his quote's a little higher,
Okay.
he was just shooting, I put money in, I said, what do you need? And
Okay, so we didn't approve spending money.
We
we just-
did vote on that.
no, because he didn't have a solid proposal.
All right,
Okay.
all right, that's all I got.
But we pigeonholed some money for him, we banked some money in the reserve.
I think we were gonna pursue putting some Band-Aids, maybe calling a carpenter out, something
I think it was
like that.
originally about 2430 he was talking.
Okay, moving on. So this landscape policy,
No.
are we tabling this landscape policy and the PPE? What about the PPE policy? Can we do a second reading on that?
Well,
Was there any problem with that?
I would respectfully request, realizing that the policy may not be perfect, but we still literally don't have a landscape committee or PP&E committee, and we won't even be able, that means landscape won't even be able to give a report at the
We-
end.
It's not
Well-
our fault that it wasn't amended from it being tabled.
We have the committees, because the board voted on on establishing those two committees. Can we do a second reading on the landscape policy, since this is policy, it could be amended at a later date?
That's not,
To,
No, it was
To reference-
tabled, it's supposed to be amended, and it wasn't amended. And that's not our fault that it wasn't amended. It needs to be amended and then read.
I don't, that's not the one that there was any changes to from the original. So, yeah, we could go ahead with that one.
I would.
I was
rec-
like, what one are we going ahead?
I would recommend, if we have changes that we know we need to make, don't approve a policy, because then we have to go and do another first and second reading.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but I would like to talk with Stan about, on the PPE side, the sprinkler system. Speaking with Jennifer, it's cumbersome. She's got to water the flowers, but she has to wait on your committee to change that schedule and everything. She's wondering if that could be, if the operation of the sprinkler system be moved over to the landscaping.
I have no problem with that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, well, we would have
Well,
to modify the
then,
PPE as well.
so we will modify, so we'll table these to modify both
Yeah.
of those,
Okay.
okay? All right, that's fine.
The only thing is, she will have to be aware at some point, you're gonna have to decommission the system for winter.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's tabled, all right. The second reading of the office administrator job, can we pass that? Someone make a
I
motion?
make a motion. Go ahead. Second.
Any discussion regarding that? I think we've been through it before.
Can we ask Rob how fully this, he might have written this from looking at it. I think he did the way this is worded. This is not Stan's language.
I know he emailed it to us, so.
Okay, I third it, whatever.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No, okay.
Leave it to him, the manual.
Now you know what your job is, Rob.
we figured that out, because we couldn't figure out where that went in the manual.
The next
right?
order of business, you should have in your packet there, a letter that has been composed by the legal committee.
Go under
No, please,
officers
hey, we're still in business, guys.
We are, we're on business. We're trying to figure out where we're gonna file this.
Job description.
We'll take care of it.
The legal committee has come up with a letter to send to the arbors, inviting them to come into the WPA. It's been approved by the legal committee, and I'm asking that the board approve that we send this letter. It's just a preliminary letter inviting them in.
Second,
Any discussion?
Yes,
We already have a motion, it's tabled from last time, because we want to know what the facts are. What's the road tax and how much
Oh,
is owed?
it's insignificant. It's like $400.
400, how many?
$400.
$400,000.
It's been
Well,
paid
that's
up
pretty
until the
good.
last 2 years.
I said, I'm good that.
Okay.
I know I wrote that up.
Yeah.
All right,
How are the
all-
roads? Are the roads in good condition? Or we gonna have to pave them in the first 5 years?
same
The
as,
roads look satisfactory with last time I was.
They're in,
Those are the same condition as the rest of them.
Yeah.
Pretty bad,
thank you.
huh?
Burrell and Conway are the same.
All,
Oh,
They have
All-
curbs and sewer and catch basins.
go ahead, go.
all in favor of sending this letter to the arbors? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll take care of that
Abstain.
tomorrow. Oh, okay.
What percentage of the arbors do we need to say yes?
Well, how are you gonna do every other house or the?
No, it's
gotta be 100%.
It's a
We went through the bylaws, and can I,
yes, yes.
according to the bylaws that we read this morning, that Peggy knows where everything is. It's amazing. The association should exist to infinity until the majority agree to dissolve the association. That's basically the way that sentence is written. So they only need a majority vote to theirs and come over. There's another clause somewhere, Article 10.
Yes.
I remember the number, but not exactly the wording, saying that they will eventually be incorporated into the WPA.
Yeah, it's in the letter that's in your packet.
All right, how do we enforce making them pay the assessment, which I think is now $725?
Well, they
What are you gonna do if one of them says no? Hell no.
That's what I was gonna ask. If they,
Well,
like five houses that say we're not paying
And
it.
we don't pay them in front of their houses, we skip them.
once they're incorporated into the WPA, we would do it the same way we do any other resident and place a lien on their
Will they
property.
have a thing that their deed on their house doesn't say that they're part of it and everything like that? And you can't force them to pay this money?
This is all
Their
gonna
deeds
have to
don't
be
say
done
anything
through
about
legal.
PD because they're not part of it.
That would would have to go through legal and through
Why are
Joe
we pushing
Crosby.
this out of curiosity? Why do we care if the arborist comes in here or not? It's not like headaches we don't need. We're having enough fun.
Well, we're sending them the
You almost
letter.
take away my Christmas spirit arguing over lights.
All right, we're sending them the letter, so, all right.
We'll see
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
If the
see
majority
what
don't wanna
happens,
do
see
it,
what
then
kind of
hell
response
with
we
it.
get.
They'll probably tell us it's really good.
All right, the next, all right, someone has to move the next,
Yes, I make a motion that we move the November 15th meeting to Winyaw Auditorium for the annual meeting.
I'll second.
any
I'll
discussion?
second it.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nobody's opposed. All right, so our next meeting will be the annual meeting, November 15th at Wynia Auditorium. Doors open at 9.
No, wait, I have two items, small items.
Okay.
First one, if it pleases the board, Cindy, could the communications committee start now advertising job descriptions or responsibilities for committee chairs and committee members of all of our committees so that we can have a list, a diverse list from the neighborhood?
Yes.
Right after the annual meeting, we'll have a list of candidates of folks that want to participate in our committees for the next year.
So you're looking for volunteers to be on those committees or volunteers for the chairs?
Both. I think we should get a pool, and then the new administration can pick a chair from
Right.
those pools, from that pool.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just let
yeah,
them-
volunteers for the committee, and then from them,
Okay, so you want
whoever,
descriptions for all the committees?
Yeah.
yes.
And you can reach out to current committees, or you can grab it from the policy manuals, where you have a policy, because we don't have a policy on all of them right now. All right, that'd be great. The other one was that I was going to make a motion to have that lot surveyed, just between lot 81 and lot 82, the land portion of that. It's a CYA, it's not going after somebody or the ARC or anything like that. We're just making sure that our land, we know where our land is, in case someone does build on it or blocks our bulkhead. That way we can do something to remediate that, whether it's sell the land, give the land, whatever we got to do if they're on our land. We can't let, that's all I'm doing is trying to, what land do we own so we can figure out a solution.
Move the question.
No discussion?
Not so fast.
Discussion,
I'll
right.
take it back.
What kind of money are we gonna spend on this?
Yeah.
Just enough to survey. It shouldn't be,
So what do you think?
Survey's probably
500?
500.
Okay.
Could be more than
Topographic
that.
survey, not a seismic. We don't care what's under the ground.
Unless there's oil.
I-
We should get oil.
We put that pipe in, the HOA did, and it's
There's
right on the
actually
border.
surveys
Sorry?
of that land from when John Walton did the bulkhead repair there between Bob Metzler's and what was Altman's. He had a survey done on the lot, so we knew what was WPA bulkhead to repair.
Possible we could go look in the register of deeds and find a copy of it.
There's I found the one for lot 81, which abuts our property. When you look at, the Georgetown County GIS, you can see, but it goes all the way, it includes the canal as well. I just want to see where we go up to on 81 and 82. 82 is Bob's.
I like to sell that lot. It ought to be
But,
worth about 90,000.
Yeah.
Bob, you have something?
Yeah, my stake is still there from when it was recently done when that house at the end.
That's right.
Right, it's been, yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't
Yeah.
see the point in,
Well, there's
Spending the money for that at
there's
this
a wooden
point.
stake sitting on top of the drain pipe, and that does not match the register of deeds, the plat that I've
somebody-
seen.
Beverly surveyed that lot when they bought it from the people that had the burned out house. And they surveyed it, and they don't even go up to the pipe.
Right, but the pipe, the stake is on the pipe right now.
That's wrong. That's
Right, that's
wrong.
why
It
I'm
should
saying
be
we need to,
6 feet back towards that house.
Maybe we could reach out to Jonathan Martin at Beverly and see
yeah,
if
I
he-
think we,
Yeah.
I think we can do
if
some
there's
research
some irons
on
in the
that
ground, then
first.
that'd be great.
Yeah,
You know, that pipe's on.
Yes, we
This right
do.
here has, it doesn't have a whole lot, but it has the pipe and everything like that, and it shows you where it goes and that they own 1.5 feet.
Mike, is that their lot or the HOA lot?
That's
That's
their lot with the HOA lot, next to it. And also lot 80, which is the next lot down John Green.
82.
all right, well, we can research that further. Somebody make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion on the floor. We either table it or we withdraw
Motion
it.
and seconded.
What was the motion?
To expend money for a.
Oh, to spend money for the survey. I thought, someone make a motion to table that.
No, we want to vote.
Okay.
Question.
All right,
Well, I mean, are we gonna take, I'm making a motion to table it while we reference these other plats.
Right.
called Beverly.
So you don't-
Save
Yes,
us $400 or
get more
$500 if we
information.
can.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'll second the table.
Okay.
all right, all in favor of tabling? Aye. Motion to adjourn?
So you want
Motion
this
to adjourn.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
All in
adjourn?
favor?
All right, aye.
Way to go, Bruce. Only 9 o'clock.